Check, 2, 3. Check, check. Check, 1, 2. Check, check. Jackson, can you hear me? Got it. Okay. That's good. I'm good. I can go.
Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2.
Perfect. We're good. Can you hear me?
Say it again.
Oh, no, you know what? No. Which has to go no. It goes in there.
I can't find it.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Tucker Field, home of the Clippers, as tonight, here on YouTube Live, and thanks to the Cumberland School Department, you are catching field hockey action here in the state of Rhode Island, where the Cumberland Clippers, the home team, will entertain the Smithfield Sentinels. Marty Crowley alongside my broadcast partner, Jackson Walsh. Jack, good to have you here tonight.
Thanks, Mr. Crawley. Good to be here.
It's great to be here, Jackson. And our athletic director, Eric Blanchard, manning the camera over there, doing a great job. Thanks to him, a yeoman's effort to get this up on the air with the governor's edict of no fans allowed. So the athletic department has done a great job here of trying to get us out on the air. Jackson flew solo last night doing girls soccer. How was that for you, Jack?
It was new. Soccer's not a sport I'm that familiar with, but I feel like I did okay with it.
I thought you listened to it. You did fantastic. Jackson, by the way, is an aspiring broadcaster. I am a wannabe broadcaster, I guess. I do work for a radio station in Woonsocket, WON, AM and FM. Shameless plug. And I have not broadcast a game since last Thanksgiving Day when we did the Woonsocket Villanovan's and the Cumberland Clippers from Barry Field. Our officials tonight are Dr. Laurie Center and Miss Paula Turcone, two very well-known field hockey officials. Field hockey is usually played in 30-minute halves, but they're playing 15-minute quarters, Jackson. Do you know why?
I do not.
Mask break. So after 15 minutes, they give a mask break to do that. And now with the starting lineups, here is the aforementioned Jackson Walsh.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Field. Good evening and welcome to Tucker Field for tonight's matchup between the Smithfield Sentinels and your Cumberland Clippers. First, the starting lineups for Smithfield. Senior number 1, Hannah Hawkins. Junior number 2, Mia Holroyd. Sophomore number 5, Cassidy Taylor. Senior number 6, Jessica Balcom. Senior number 7, Madison Orsillo. Senior number 8, Bethany Cardono. Senior number 9, Courtney Cardono. Junior number 10, Sierra McClue. Junior number 11, Elizabeth Weston. Sophomore number 14, Lauren Falls. And sophomore number 20, Ava Pomselli. And now the starting lineups for your Cumberland Clippers. Senior captain number 3, Sydney Kell. Junior captain number 1, Sophia Zanetti. Junior captain number 7, Jenna Hooper. Junior number 22, Rachel Walmsley. Junior number 6, Heather Bliss. Junior number 2, Maddie Dale. Senior number 14, Abby Santoro. Sophomore number 10, Lauren Legore. Junior number 5, Katie Blaze. Sophomore number 17, Rachel Grieve. And sophomore number 40, Hannah Free. At this time, remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, we're all set to go here at Tucker Field. Good job by my broadcast partner, Jack, with double duty as the PA guy here, playing the national anthem. And if we were selling hot dogs, I think you could do that too, Jackson, couldn't you?
I believe so.
You like a good hot dog, don't you?
Always.
So we're all set here. These two teams did meet once this year already here at Tucker Field. A Clipper victory by the score of 4-1. And in that game, Rachel Grieve had a hat trick. Sophia Zanitti added a goal. Grieve, a key player here for the Clippers, Jackson.
The sophomores really come on so far this season, and next 2 years we'll see what's next to come, maybe some All-States.
Jenna Hooper also with an assist on the year. And so for the Clippers, it'll be Zanitti, Dale, Kell, Blaze, Bliss, Hooper, Lagore, Santoro, Grieve, Walmsley, and Hannah Free minding the net for the Cumberland Clippers. Grieve will start it off wearing the back brace there right at the Royal Blue C. Has Kell to her left, and Cumberland will start the first possession. Clock is off, and we're underway here at Tucker Field. High school sports with nobody in the stands. However, the kids get a chance to play, Jackson. I think at the end of the day, that's what's really important.
Yeah, that's really all that matters, as long as they're playing.
Clippers now with possession. The Sentinels at full strength, according to Coach Pam Etheridge, who was a JV coach here for many years before moving on to get a program of her own. The Clippers now move into Sentinel territory. Good stick work right there by Sydney Kell, the senior for Cumberland. The rules in field hockey, you might know them better than I do, to be honest with you. I know you can't use the back of your stick. You can't double team. You can't throw it off of somebody's feet. Dangerous play if the ball goes near your head. Playing on this turf surface definitely has changed the pace of the game here in Cumberland when this used to be a grass field. And back in the day, Jackson, believe it or not, the field hockey team used to play on your baseball outfield.
Yeah, that would explain some of the damage to the outfield.
Yeah, I think it would. They used part of the infield, too, so I could never figure out how they went from the outfield to the infield and did that as well. So Sydney Kell now applying some good pressure up front for the Clippers. Jenna Hooper, multi-talented athlete, sister of Cole Hooper, a Wisconsin Badger. Ball is centered. The Clippers on the attack early here, deep into Smithfield territory. Laurie Center with the tomahawk chop, unsure what that sign is. Jackson, that was your job, by the way, to get all the referee signals now. Did you not know that?
I've been struggling with that, Mr. Crowley.
Field hockey, a possession game here. It's kind of like the NFL, though. If you watch NFL games on Sundays, you hear everything everybody is saying. You can hear the benches and the kids coming from the far sideline here at Andrew Tucker Field.
It's been a different sports world so far in 2020.
I agree with you there, Jack. I mean, I think they get to play, as you know, you are a multi-sport athlete here, being a basketball player and a baseball player and aspiring broadcaster. Jackson Walsh is his name, Cumberland High School. To lose a season is obviously pretty devastating, as you know, the football guys are going through it now and some of the volleyball players.
Yeah, it was a heavy feeling.
I'm sure you can relate to that. But hopefully, this thing gets turned around quickly and, those guys can fill into the gap season. But meanwhile, here in the fall, this is Cumberland comes in with a 1-2-0 record and Smithfield 0-3. This is only the Clippers' fourth game.
Yeah, Cumberland coming off a big 4-0 win against Smithfield right here at Tucker Field on October 21st. Like my partner said, Rachel Grieve netted a hat trick.
She was pretty, we were both here that night. She was pretty incredible that night.
Yes. It's a big bounce back win for the Clippers coming off of back-to-back 1-0 losses.
Well, it's kind of like soccer, Jack, I think, when you get to the point where it, 1 goal, 2 goals, and you're off and you're running.
Yeah.
if they get to overtime, which I don't think they play anymore, but at one point overtime, they take people off the field and they make it 7-on-7, which is very, very exciting. It'd be kind of like in a baseball game, like pulling the right fielder and the second baseman. And saying,
Yeah, it'd make things interesting.
Yes, it would, especially if you're a lefty. Thanks to Eric Blanchard, our athletic director, for getting us on the air. Mike Chandler in our IT department, I'm sure, had a lot to do with this as well. Getting all the technology, and Mr. Blanchard being very resourceful to get us up and out here. To all our parents watching at home on YouTube Live, we are coming to you from Tucker Field. 10:32 remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Cumberland in their home white jerseys, royal blue numbers, royal blue shorts or skirts or whatever they are. They look like skirts to me. And Smithfield in their road green jerseys, Sentinels across their jersey, white numerals, gold trim. The captains for each team wearing captain's bands on their shin pads. Here's Grieve with a rush. Good job by the defense. Stopping that for Smithfield was Cassidy Taylor, the sophomore backer.
For the Clippers, out of 3 captains, 2 of them being juniors. Looking forward to next year. That's going to be great, having that leadership role returning.
Well, you know, as a player, I think it's the experience you get as an underclassman, or even as a junior, will bode well for you moving down forward.
Yes, exactly.
You know, if you look back and when you're a sophomore, you look back freshman year and say, "Oh my God, how did I act like that?" And when you're a junior, you say, "Holy cow!" And each year, the maturity goes and the experience goes. Sophie Zanetti, multi-talented athlete here for Cumberland as well, with the ball. Smithfield with the breakout. There is no offside, I did learn in field hockey. And here's an odd man rush. He's trying to use the front of the stick for the Sentinels. Goes Lauren Falls. Tries to center it. Good job getting back on defense right there by Jenna Hooper.
I believe it was Lauren Falls for Smithfield scored the lone goal here a couple weeks ago at Tucker Field for the Sentinels.
Yeah, she did. She was out with the 15, 20, 25. That thing just found its way through everybody.
Yeah.
Game was out of hand by then. Thanks to Rachel Grieve. Clippers are coached by first-year head coach Erin Gendro, assisted by Nancy Gendro. And Smithfield coached by Pam Etheridge, assisted by Brianna Durand and Angela Krause. Sorry, Erin Gendro is in her second year coaching here. I stand corrected.
Both teams struggling to generate some offense so far through the halfway mark of the first quarter.
It's kind of like anything else at some point. It's a chess match where you would see what the other team's using for formations. Changing the field is key in field hockey, where you can change from the near sideline to the far sideline and get people. As you notice, it's a very ball-orientated sport. Smithfield tries to get a shot off. It's a miss. It gets through. Pressure. Good job by the defense back there. Sophie Zanetti cleaning that up as Smithfield had an odd rush there. The ball got through to the goalie, but Zanetti heads up getting through there. Smithfield still with pressure on. Paula Turcone blows her whistle, and we're going to get a what essentially looks like a free shot. I don't know about you, Jack, but I don't think I want to stand in front of this ball when this girl takes a whack at it. That thing would hurt.
I'd have to agree with you there, Mr. Crawley.
You see a Smithfield player trying to screen the goalie down the far sideline.
Smithfield takes the conservative route on the free hit.
That's going to be Smithfield balls. We're scoreless. 6:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Coming to you on what is more like a early fall night than it's been the last couple of days with the weather. Boy, the weather turned sideways there for a couple of days, did it not?
Yeah, last night here was about 35 degrees with a 30-degree wind chill.
I hope you had the heat on up here.
I had windows open.
Attaboy. Good job. We're in COVID era. Beautiful New England early November night here. Sophie Zanetti once again breaks that up. She's been everywhere. Here comes Cumberland with the rush. Grieve trying to get the ball up the middle. They can't. And that's what I like about this sport. You drop and go. Oh, that was the ball went off of Grieve's foot that time, and unfortunately, Smithfield now will take over at their own 30-yard line.
There's very little dead time in the sport.
Nope, it's kind of like soccer. It's drop and go when you're ready. 5:29 remaining here in the first quarter of a scoreless game. Smithfield 0-3, as you mentioned. They got beat by South Kingston 6-0 in their last game. The Clippers have not played now in, let's see if I can do my math. It's 31 days in October, 2 weeks ago. Today was the last time Cumberland played.
And it was right here against Smithfield.
They if that happens, you just get the rust out the first a little bit, and then you settle into your game plan. And we're off and we're running. Grieve tries a centering pass for Sydney Kell. Off somebody's foot. Jenna Hooper wanted to go, but she can't. Hooper, good ball on the ground, tries to get that through, but I don't know why that whistle was blown. Laurie Center. They could be landing an airplane for all I know. She kind of went like that and like that. Longtime official, Dr. Laurie Center. Won a state championship in basketball while she was the coach at the Moses Brown School up on the east side of Providence.
Wow.
Yeah, very talented individual. She's a great young lady. Here comes a break for Smithfield now. Deep into Clipper territory goes number 14, Lauren Falls. However, I believe she used the back of her stick there. And it's going to be Cumberland's ball with 4:09 remaining here in the first quarter. Coming to you from Tucker Field. You're watching live on YouTube Live on the Cumberland School Department Network.
Continues to be Falls applying the pressure for Smithfield.
Yep. See, that's what you got to do there. You got to try to cross the field right there. And Zanetti tried to get that ball over to Catherine Pachoka, who was in the game for the Clippers, and couldn't connect. .333 here remaining in the first quarter. We do not have commercial breaks. We will keep the camera here live, but you may not hear audio, but you'll see video in between periods. And then we'll be back in second quarter action, and obviously halftime again. 4 15-minute quarters due to the mask break. I think soccer last night, Jack, did they just do it like halfway between halves? I think is what they
go.
did.
Yeah, so for girls soccer, it's 2 40-minute halves, and they just do the mass break whenever there's a stoppage around the 20-minute mark of each half. That lasts about 2 minutes.
Smithfield applying pressure now. Shot goes off the foot of one of the Clippers by Ava Pompaselli. Good pressure. Ball centered. Knocked out. Good job on the far sideline getting that out. And we're off and we're running now. An odd man break. Had Grieve streaking down the middle. Couldn't get the ball to her. Zanetti, once again, always around the ball. Sophie Zanetti. 2:13. You hear Coach Gendro saying, right away, right away, right away. Trying to get that ball up. You try to catch the other team while they're sleeping. Here's Grieve now with a good ball up the middle. Tries to connect with Kell. Can't do it. Hooper on the right wing gets that ball. Carries over midfield. But she's ridden off the ball by Pompaselli of the Sentinels. 1:44 now in a scoreless first quarter remaining.
Clippers trying to play their fast style of play that suit them best so far this season. Smithfield doing a pretty good job on defense so far.
Smithfield with its full complement of players here tonight. I was talking to Coach Ashley before the game. They've been battling some illness and injuries, but this is the healthiest she said.
last time they were here at Tucker Field, they were missing 6 of their starters.
Due to health reasons.
Yes, correct.
That's
So it's a different Seminole squad here tonight.
yeah, they're showing it. 1 minute left in the period. 1 minute left here in the first quarter. We have a scoreless first quarter. The ball goes off Sydney's foot. Tough to control. And ball crosses to the far sideline, which I think is the key to this sport. You change field, you change direction, change speed. Good rush on the far sideline. Look like Abby Santoro possibly over there. I can't see that number that far out. No, that was Lauren Lagore, thank you. I know there was a 1 out front. It's good to have young eyes. Zanetti keeps the ball in. 15 seconds left. Clippers trying to put a rush on. Ball's thrown out in front. It's going to be a corner for the Clippers. The clock will run out. However, they will get this corner in. So what happens is people have to come out past midfield. You set up a play around basically the arc, which is just outside the 18-foot line in soccer. And 6 players from the other team go to midfield. Once the ball is put in play, you stop it and try to attack the net. The other 5 players are in the goal. So they will probably let this play go. If Cumberland gets a shot, that'll be it. Ball's loose out front, and it's going to be another corner. So the quarter has ended. However, you cannot end on a penalty corner. You must finish your play. So once either Smithfield gets possession or the ball goes out of bounds, Jackson.
Clippers applying some late pressure to the Seminoles here at the end of the first quarter. Let's see if they can net one through.
There's Sidney Kell trying to give and go. Ball is thrown in front to Hooper. Kell with a shot. Did that get in? No, it didn't. And that's the end of the quarter. So with the score, Cumberland 0, Smithfield 0. You're watching high school field hockey on YouTube Live on the Cumberland School Department Network. We'll be right back with second quarter action. Welcome back to Tucker Field. Marty Crowley, Jackson Walsh, high school field hockey. The Cumberland Clippers are entertaining the Smithfield Sentinels. You are watching on YouTube Live on the Cumberland School Department Network. Getting ready for the second quarter or the second half of the first half. And here to take over the play-by-play is my partner, Jackson Walsh. All yours, Jack.
Thank you, Mr. Corrali. Start of the second half here. Second quarter, excuse me. Neither team able to get through, and Grieve's going to start it for the Clippers.
As we know, Grieve is their most prolific goal scorer. Let's see if they can try to get the ball in close, Jackson.
Wouldn't be surprised if a Sydney Kell goal occurred tonight. She's been near the net constantly for the Clippers. Blaze looking to start something for the Clippers. Smithfield gets it out. Fall streaking down the left side. Trailed by Maddie Dale. And Fall gets it back out to Pompaselli. Pompaselli centers. And Zanetti takes possession for the Clippers.
Well, she's been everywhere, Sophie Zanetti tonight, first quarter. She just is that, like that sweeper in soccer where she's just always around the ball and stopping Sentinel threats.
Is Zanetti, along with Grieve, the only goal scorers for Cumberland so far. Ball was cleared by Walmsley for the Clippers. And we're going to have a whistle. It's going to remain with the Clippers as Jenna Hooper quickly starts it.
Clippers seem to be working the right side of the field and Sentinels working the left as they did late in the first quarter.
.13 remaining in the first half. Second quarter here. Smithfield looks to get something. They found Fall. She misses wide left. Saved by Free.
I think they're going to call dangerous on the goalie, and Smithfield will get a corner out of it. So once again, 6 players run out to midfield. 4 go in the goal with the goalie. And essentially it turns into a power play opportunity for the Sentinels.
It's going to be Fall to start as she finds Pompaselli. Pompaselli fires, knocked down by Hooper. Shoots again, saved by Free. Loose in front of the net.
That's a good job by Santoro right there, Jack, because the goalie Free, she got turned around and didn't see where that ball was.
There's a lot of pressure on Free there. It's great by Santoro to clear that.
So if you're at midfield, Jackson, after a couple of these, I'm sure you're pretty winded.
Yeah.
Because you're running from the 50 down to the 15.
The Pompaselli on the corner with Hooper lined up next to her. Plethora of Sentinels lined out along the 15-yard line. Fall has it in front of the net, shoots.
There's
it's going to be deflected in.
On the back side, usually they take the ball out, but they didn't. It looks like it's number 1.
That's going to be number 1,
is the
Hannah
goal
Hawkins.
scorer. At 11:19, I got to write that down now, at 11:19 of the second quarter.
Smithfield breaks through early in the second quarter. It was assisted from Lauren Falls, but Hannah Hawkins knocks it right in front of the net. It's Grieve with some open field. Grieve retains possession. Batted out by Smithfield. Hooper has it on the near side. Looks for Kell a bit too much on the pass. Hooper still fighting for possession. Blaze finds Grieve in front of the net. She fires. Looks like a mishit from Grieve there.
The pace has definitely picked up toward the end of the first quarter and now at the beginning of the second quarter by both teams, Jackson.
Smithfield turns it over to Maddie Dale. Dale finds Hooper. Hooper gains possession. It's cleared back by Smithfield, but it finds Dale once again. Hooper was in a scrum with number 20, Ava Pompicelli, for that one.
Well, it's Pompicelli, McCullough, Falls working this left side of the Sentinel offense along with Elizabeth Weston, number 11.
Cardona's going to fire it back to the Clipper zone. McCullough has it working on Hooper. Trying to keep it in. She has it. And whistle's going to stay Smithfield ball.
Ball hit Jenna Hooper in the foot, and therefore, that's a no-no.
Pompicelli looks for Weston. It was a little too much on the pass. Is chased down by number 6, Heather Bliss, for the Clippers. 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Smithfield still leads 1-0. Clippers unable to push through the Sentinel defense this quarter. Smithfield's really picked up the pace of play this half. Kell has it streaking in front of net. She finds some open grass. Has an open net with just the goalie to beat. Oh! She goes just wide on the hit.
What a great effort by Sydney Kell down the right-hand side. Took a good swipe at that.
Catherine Gallier almost put it in on the rebound, but it just leaks out of bounds.
Sydney also a member of the softball program here at Cumberland High School.
A lot of multi-talented athletes here, Mr. Crawley.
Multi-sport athletes, just as yourself, Jackson. Yes, they are. It bodes well for our athletic department, for our students. And they're all great, actually, more importantly, they're great students. And they remember the word student and student athlete.
Exactly. Kell has it. Looks like she's winding up for the shot, and she misses wide right.
Sydney obviously looks a little frustrated with herself. No need to be, though. It's always, you got to have that next play mentality, right? Something good doesn't happen.
Just let it go and move on.
That's it. You have no choice. I think disaster has struck as I've lost my pen, but that's okay. I have a pencil.
Smithfield's free hit goes wide left, so the Clippers regain possession with Hooper. Hooper looks for Kell. Unable to handle it. Hooper still has it on the near side corner. Look for Katie Blaze, but it leaks out of bounds.
Thanks to Mr. Blanchard once again for getting us up on the air, working the camera, doing everything that a outstanding athletic director does here in Cumberland. Mr. Blanchard entering his second year here, tenure as our AD, and thanks for getting us out on the air and for all your help with our student athletes and running our athletic department.
Also noted earlier, a lot of schools are not able to be fortunate enough to do this, so thank you to Mr. Blanchard for that.
Well, you're a student athlete here, Jack. You know how it goes, right? And
Yep.
you've seen Mr. Blanchard in action since last winter. You know, just in everything from logistics to setup, but even here in the fall.
Kell was working on that play, but we're going to have a whistle, and it's going to go back to Smithfield.
I'm sure Jackson's probably not fun to be an athletic director, where if you think like last year in the fall we had Triple E, and then the coronavirus hits in the winter, and there's no fall sports, and then you're trying to figure out what to do here in the fall, and to all our administrators, our building principals, our superintendent, just thank you for doing their best to try to keep us safe, and they're doing the job they can.
They're always putting the student athlete's safety first.
Yeah.
Blaze has it in front of the net. Looks for Grieve.
Oh.
This is a save by former All-Division goalie Mia Holroyd.
That was saving beauty right there. She has 46 saves, Jackson. I think you mentioned that through 3 games. That's a lot of shots faced.
Just a junior coming off an first team All-Division II sophomore campaign.
Well, she showed it right there as she came out to meet the pass as Kell was streaking toward the goal that time.
Playing the game very aggressive so far. Zanetti has it near side, fires to the middle. Unable to connect. It's going to be Hooper closely guarding Fall as the Fall gets away. Looks for McHugh a little too much. Back to Dale at the 50. Dale tries to center, unable to. Blaze to Galgay on the far side in front of the Clipper bench. Correction, Sentinel bench.
4:45 here left in the first half. Smithfield 1, Cumberland nothing.
Clippers quickly go into a free hit. It's going to be Blaze working on the Sentinel defender. That was Hawkins successfully stealing it. Looks like the ball is batted out of bounds by the Clippers. It's going to go back to the Sentinels. And Smithfield fires it back in.
Boy, Sophie Zanetti once again, man, she is everywhere.
Zanetti and Grieve just been doing it all for the Clippers so far. This Falls on the left side, guarded by Dale.
And Jenna Hooper as well on our far sideline has done a pretty good job. And, you know, you put our strength against their strength. And, oh, that's off your leg. That's got to hurt getting hit by that ball.
Especially on a cold, brisk night.
Oh. Well, that's a good ball. I'll go through everybody.
Going to be stopped by Cardona.
Ooh. Come on, Rach.
Kell has it working on Cardona.
Good move, Sydney.
She gets through two Smithfield defenders. Down the right side, fires to the middle, and misses just wide. She had Grieve and Blaze in front of the net, but unable to connect for the pass.
That's a good rush once again by Sydney coming down the right-hand side. It's almost like that hockey play where you try to get somebody in the back post and just a little too much mustard. Good effort by the Clippers. Hopefully they can connect on one of those sooner than later.
The ball just barely leaked through. Cumberland really applying the pressure to the end of the second quarter on the Sentinels.
As you mentioned, they haven't played in 2 weeks, and you know you get your legs under you a little bit now. You're back in competition, and you're off and running.
Just under 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Smithfield still holding a 1-0 lead over the Clippers. A little discrepancy on where this free hit is going to be thrown from. It looks like it's going to be from the 30.
Yeah, Paul Turcone said, "I don't like it there. Let's move up a little bit." Great job by Hooper with using her body to shield the Smithfield defender from the ball.
Hooper's been a constant factor on defense and offense so far for the Clippers this season.
Also plays varsity lacrosse.
Along with varsity basketball.
Yeah, she played basketball as well. I was trying to figure out why people in the complex, they're going up back for Cumberland Youth Soccer Association.
Have another whistle that's going to stay with the Clippers.
So back in the day, there used to be a girl on the sideline with the clock, and when it got down to a minute, she would stand up and run up and down the sidelines and chase the officials on those little red clocks. It almost looked like a chess clock, and that's how they would tell time. But in this day and age, that is no longer necessary because the scoreboard is working.
Many innovations to the game.
Another thing for technology, too, is that the officials can speak to each other now. They have microphones on. And I'm happy to see that Laurie Center and Paula Turcone are wearing masks tonight, even with the whistle.
It's very responsive by the referees.
Yes, it is.
Look who's streaking. Looks to center. Just goes a bit too long.
Not a shot on goal.
She almost had Madison Orsillo right there in front of the net. It was guarded by Free pretty well. Under a minute left here in the second quarter. And Zanetti fires. She finds Sydney Kell pretty far downfield. Kell breaks by one defender, but then is stopped by Cardona. Another foul. It's going to stay with the Clippers. 30 seconds left. Clippers trying for a last-second push this quarter to even the game up at 1.
Good job by Jenna Hooper just keeping applying the pressure. You said that. Trying to get the ball to Grieve in the middle, huh?
Looks like it's going to go back to the Sentinels with 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Pompicelli fires back in her own zone to Cardona. Pressure applied by Grieve. Sentinels push it out a little bit, chased down by Hooper. 3 seconds remaining. I have one more whistle. The horn sounds here at Tucker Field, and that's the end of the first half. After one half, the Sentinels lead the Cumberland Clippers 1-0.
All right, good job, Jackson. We will keep it here. We're just in video, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes with the audio. Stay tuned for exciting second half action coming to you from Tucker Field on YouTube Live, the Cumberland School Department Network. Welcome back to Tucker Field. Marty Crowley, Jackson Walsh on the air. Eric Blanchard, producer, engineer, and astute cameraman as well. Thanks to Eric for getting us back on the air. We are getting ready for the third quarter or second half action here with the Sentinels leading 1-0 on a goal scored by Hawkins at 11:19 of the second quarter. Hannah Hawkins, the midfield senior, broke down the left side and actually put a rebound back in for the only goal of the game. Shout out to all our parents listening out there in Clipperland. You're watching or listening on YouTube Live on the Cumberland School Department Network. I know Jackie Hooper is watching and listening as well. Jackie, a great supporter of Cumberland Athletics. I was on the Parks and Rec Commission, I believe, as well, is big here in town and trying to upgrade our fields and our facilities for our youth here in Cumberland. Tucker Field, a beautiful complex, has a baseball, a softball field, tennis courts, soccer field up back, and we are on the main field, if you want to call it, the turf field with the Royal Blue Sea in the middle. Second half action underway, or third quarter. Clippers in the home white, royal blue skirts, royal blue numbers.
Going back to what you said, Mr. Crawley, just want to add to that. There's no better place to be a high school student athlete than Cumberland. With all our facilities, coaches, administrators, they provide the best there is around for us.
Listen, I'll tell you, this is, I'm not, I'll get in my soapbox for 30 seconds here as Smithfield is retreating here, where the school departments and school departments based, the high school is the focal point of the education system in the district. You have a great school district. You have people move into your district and a great school system. We are fortunate here in Cumberland not only to have a great high school, great staff, and great students, great administration, and the culture is where it should be. Even during this global pandemic, everybody is trying to do the best they can to help our students get through daily, not only with their academics, but socially and emotionally. And I couldn't agree with you more that, Cumberland is a great town, a great school district, and it comes from great kids and great parents as well.
You get the best of both worlds, you, Mr. Crawley, being an educator at the high school, as well as head softball coach for the Clippers.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we're fortunate we get to work with great kids every day. And that's my soapbox, and I'm done with it for now. 13-24 here in the third quarter, so shout out once again to all our parents. I know Jackie's listening because she just texted me. So, of course, you want a shout-out, just shoot us a text, and we'll throw your name out on the air. Kel breaking down the right side again. Kel's played well in the first half. Hooper's played well in the first half. Zanitti's played well in the first half. They're trying. Right now, they've shut out Grieve for Cumberland, although she's had a couple of shots.
Just going back to it once again, look for Zanitti, Keller, Grieve to net one in this second half. They've all been threats this season, especially tonight.
Ball's broken up on the far sideline. Right away, Sophie Zanetti thwarts that attempt at midfield. Ball in the air. Sophie, good eye-hand coordination to bat that ball out of the air. Ball switches on to the left sideline for the Clippers. And Lagore with that ball trying to advance it.
Like we're seeing that same second quarter intensity here in the third quarter for both sides, Mr. Crawley.
Yeah, it has, Jackson. I agree with you. It's picked up on both ends. The Sentinels trying to earn their first win of the year. Clippers trying to beat the Sentinels for the second time in a row. Congratulations go out to the Cumberland High Boys Junior Varsity Cross Country team on winning the JV State Championship this past Saturday at East Greenwich High School on the 3.1. Actually, they ran 3.2. They kind of went the wrong way but anyway, they did it. Congratulations to Coach Kerry Carpenter and her JV boys, and congratulations to Coach Vanessa Malloy and the freshman girls who are also but they are freshman state champions. Very talented bunch that Coach Malloy has. Both boys and girls teams for cross country will see action this Saturday at Deerfield Park for the Class A championships, and both teams have also qualified for the state championships, which will be held November 14th out at Pontiganset. Just a reminder that it is a no-fan policy per Governor Raimondo and the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, We thank you for your patience and thank you for joining us.
I would say since I've been a senior here at Cumberland, a student here at Cumberland High School, cross-country team, boy and girls, always continue to produce talented teams that are in competition for state championships every year.
Yep. And the way it goes, Jackson, if you're in the top 6 here in New England, and they're both perennial powers, for a public school, we do okay. And that'll be my next soapbox, but that's for a different night. The value of a public education. Good pressure by the Clippers here on the left-hand side.
Looks like Legore and Grieve out in front of the net.
Now, Caitlin Bliss going to the corner, trying to keep it in play. Good job shielding her body. Gets that ball out to Legore. Legore pushes that forward. Nice give and go there. Legore pushing toward the net. Saving a beauty. Jenna Hooper now scoops that up. Sends that toward the net. Sydney Kelb throws the ball on net. And that's a goal!
I think it was a tip-in goal.
They're hugging Jenna Hooper. And it's a goal!
Looks like it might have gone off a
Cones.
Smithfield defender. I think they're going to give that one to Hooper.
So we'll give Jenna Hooper the ball. We'll give Jenna the Hooper the goal with 9:47 remaining here in the third quarter.
It's going to be Hooper's first goal of the season, but second point as she netted an assist in the Smithfield game here 2 weeks ago.
9:47 left here in the third quarter. Jenna Hooper has scored the equalizer. Great pressure by Cumberland. Everybody got a hand in on that one for the Clippers. It went in the corner. It started with Caitlin Bliss. She got it out to Lauren Legore. Shot was thrown on net, and very astute by Jenna to throw that back on net, and it got through. And right away, you can see the Clippers now, a little extra spring in your step with momentum, Jackson.
Yeah, the Clippers' fast-paced style of play once again proving to be helpful in their gameplay.
9:10 left here in the third quarter / second half. Ball being fought for on the far sideline. We are on the west sideline here up in the press box, high above Andrew Tucker Field. Andy Tucker, former educator here in Cumberland. The complex is named after him. You mentioned the school department, a lot of construction going on in the school department. Those guys are working tirelessly to help the improvements of the front of our school, part of the bond issue that was passed. Grieve now shields her body, turns, fires, just wide.
It's another hot shot there from Grieve. Nearly at her fourth of the season.
Boy, once again, it's almost like a basketball post player posting up, where she goes in and she sits and she waits and turns the stick and then sweeps the leg for the drop step and just turns and fires.
What I've noticed, she's done a great job using her body to shield from the ball and then turning aggressively and firing.
Yeah. A lot of these young ladies are also lacrosse players, which is the same principles when it comes to that sport. Hooper, far sideline, tries to connect with Kell a little too far, but Sydney keeping the pressure on. Good job. Jenna Hooper steps up now. Ball's thrown in front to Grieve. Legore sitting at the back post, just waiting for that tip in. And the Clippers are going to have a corner on this with 7:20 remaining in a 1-1 game. Coming to you from Tucker Field in Cumberland.
I think that ball was deflected pretty high, nearly nicked Grieve in the face, but she's able to get out of the way. It's going to result in a Cumberland corner with Hooper.
Hooper will put the ball in play. Sends it to Legore in the corner. Legore snaps it back. Tries to get the ball through. Good job by Smithfield and the defense. Number 6, Jessica Balcom on that play. Cumberland once again will put the ball in play for a penalty corner where essentially the rest of the Cumberland girls line up just outside the 16-yard line, about 20 yards out. This one goes to Zanetti, who lets it fly, and that's off the foot of a Sentinel player.
Balcom bodying that ball up.
Sorry to cut you off there, Jack. And Cumberland will get the ball once again in the corner. The thing about field hockey is they do put balls behind the nets. The spare balls do go behind the nets, and after a while, some of them may get away. 6:09 remaining here. Paula Turcone's going to have them put the ball down right by the... Well, I thought she was going right into the corner with that. Meanwhile, the clock is running. Nope, they're going to put the ball out at the 25, and that's where it'll go into play. Now that that's settled, ball's in play, and Smithfield takes over possession. Still good pressure by the Clippers. Ball's going to be knocked out. Good hustle by Coach Gendron on the far sideline. Going to hustle and stop that ball with her foot. I think she's the only person who can actually use her foot on the sideline and not get in trouble for it. That was a joke, Jackson. Not a very good one, but that was a joke. My young apprentice, you will learn.
There's some pretty good jokes, Mr. Crowley.
Thank you. I laugh at myself. 5:12 left here in the third quarter, or we'll call them quarters, I guess, because theoretically there's 20 minutes left in the game.
10 minutes into the quarter, the Smithfield ball is... The ball has rarely been in the Clipper zone. Hannah Free has had a quiet second half as of far.
Well, you know, we saw that after Smithfield scored that goal, Cumberland put a little more pressure on. You alluded to that in your call of the second quarter, that would happen. Sydney Kell, some good stick work. Has Gree parked out front. Basically, that boils down to, I think it's like in hockey, like a dead ball penalty, and it's going to be a free where Jenna Hooper will put the ball at about the 11-yard line. Goes right back to Zanetti. Zanetti fires it on net. Zanetti again in the middle, trying to get that through. Kell with it. Grieve off the side of the net. Good stick work by those three. Almost put Cumberland up top with 4:03 remaining here in the third quarter. Marty Crowley, Jackson Walsh, Eric Blanchard, athletic director, engineer, cameraman, producer, sets the field up, does everything. Above and beyond what an athletic director should do. We're very fortunate to have him here in Cumberland. Ball's dropped right off of Smithfield's foot again, and the Clippers are off and running with Caitlin Blaze with the ball now.
Sydney Kell speeding down the field once again.
Good move by Sydney. I agree, Jackson. And the Clippers will get a corner on it. I agree. Sydney put a good burst on there from about the 30 down to the 15, where she just found another gear and used good stick work to get there. And that's the key, you know, in this sport. Or any sport, you know, a change of direction sport. You got to find that other gear to get by the defense and stuff. And Sydney did that right there. 3:04 remaining here in the third quarter. Clippers 1, Smithfield 1.
Well, the field hockey I've watched, I would have to say Sydney Kell's stick work and speed is above average.
There's a lot of talented players who've come through this program over the years. Longtime coach Karen Sullivan had quite a few All-Staters come through here. And for a while there, Jackson, they had a stretch where for like 5 or 6 years, one of their goalies, either Michaela Murray, who was just brought in the Cumberland High Athletic Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, or Bridget Hosney or Rachel Baxter, were all All-State goalies here for the Clippers.
A storied field hockey program for the Clippers over the years.
Yeah.
They did lose 2 All-Division players last year, that being Kirsten Mahalaris and Jenna Bauerfein, but they do return about 6 or 7 starters for this season.
And as you said, every game you play, you get more experience under your belt. I couldn't agree with you more, Jack. 2:04 remaining here, coming up on the 2-minute warning here. So there's 2 minutes. There is no warning, but I just felt like saying that. So we're under 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Tied at 1. Third quarter has been all Clippers down the north side of the field with pressure. Has Smithfield on their heels. They got the equalizer on a Jenna Hooper from about 16 out. Ball was deflected. She does get credit for that goal.
It was one of the longer goals you see in this sport.
Yeah, for a while there, I could be wrong, but you couldn't score from outside of the red circle. You had to be inside the circle, and that kind of took away anything from like the 20 or 25 out. I think that rule has changed.
Yeah, they did go away with that rule 2 or 3 years ago.
$1:15 remaining here in the third quarter. 1-1 game. Also thanks to Mr. Eric Giorgio, our support staff here tonight.
It's been all Clippers in this third quarter. Sentinels right now is about the closest they've been to the net.
Rachel Walmsley, good job right there, breaking it up. Ball goes to Lagore on the near sideline, and she's broken up. But not before, once again, Caitlin Blaze breaks it up. So this is why they scored last time, to Lagore in the corner. Puts a move on, tries driving to the net. 36 seconds left in that quarter. Grieve gets that ball through, and that's going to go out of bounds. Clock winding down. Clippers still trying to put pressure on.
10 seconds left. Clippers looking for a last-ditch effort at a goal here.
Abby Santoro pushes the ball up forward. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's probably going to do it for the third quarter. And that does. So the Clippers get the equalizer on a goal by Jenna Hooper. Cumberland won. Smithfield won. Fourth quarter action. Wow, easy for me to say. Fourth quarter action coming right up here on the Cumberland School Department Network and YouTube Live. We'll be back for fourth quarter action. Welcome back to Tucker Field and Cumberland. Marty Crowley, Jackson Walsh. We're in a tie game here. The Clippers got the equalizer in the third quarter on a goal by Jenna Hooper, which answered the first quarter score by Hannah Hawkins. Clippers with pressure here to start the fourth quarter. And with that, I will turn the play-by-play duties over to my main man, Jackson Walsh. All yours, Jack.
Hey, Mr. Corrali, once again back to do the play-by-play for the fourth quarter. Both teams one goal so far. Sentinels had a goal from Hawkins in the second quarter, along with a Hooper goal in the third quarter for the Clippers. The ball once again starts in Smithfield zone with the Clippers applying pressure. They have been the better team so far this half. Scrum in the front of the net with a plethora of players. Like Zanitti's battling with the Clippers. He's going to win the battle. He's looking for Bliss, but it's cut off by Cardona. He's going to stay with Zanitti and the Clippers. And she finds Bliss. Bliss quickly back to Zanitti. Zanitti setters off a Smithfield player. Streaking quickly downfield, that's number 11, Elizabeth Weston. Turning all defense into offense for the Sentinels. Weston has it once again, guarded by 3 Clippers. And the ball sent out of bounds.
Still no word on who the president's going to be, by the way. Although Joe Biden is now up to 253 electoral votes.
A whistle. Looks like it's going to go back to the Clippers.
Moving right to left on your radio/television dial. Sentinels moving left to right. 12:50 remaining in this contest.
Screeve in the corner. Battling for possession. Finds it back to Kell.
You know, I agree with you, Jackson. You know, I know you didn't say anything, but back to the end of the first half, where it's been all Cumberland, the ball has not left that side of the field, with the exception of the last possession of the third quarter for the Sentinels.
I don't believe the Sentinels have gotten past the Clipper 30. Going to be Zanitti at the 25 for the free hit. Looking for Hooper and Kell down in the far corner. Kell trying to generate some offense on the far side. Sentinels send it back out, but it goes right to Zanitti. Legore now battling for possession on the near side, but it looks like Hawkins has it. And it'll be knocked out of bounds. Going to go back to the Clippers.
Well, you know what I like too, Jackson? We talked about a little bit in the first half is now Cumberland's attacking from the left-hand side, when the first half down on this end, they're on the right-hand side. So they found something on the left here of trying to get the ball down to Legore, then crossing it back across the field.
It's like maybe a mid-game coaching change from Gendero.
Oh, you know, it's just it's just strategy. At some point, it's like a chess match.
It's going to be Ava Pompaselli streaking quickly downfield. She finds McHugh on the far side in front of the Sentinel bench.
Great defensive play by Rachel Walmsley right there. Broke that ball up.
Goes back to Hooper, who's going to clear it, looking for Dale right at the 50 on the far side.
Turn.
Dale tries to find Grieve. It goes a little too far, but she still regains possession. Looks for Legore on the near side.
Just a reminder, too, while there's a break in the action, you can hear us here tomorrow night as the boys soccer team will take on North Kingstown. Coming to you from Tucker Field.
And boys with 2 games left in the season looking to hold a home playoff spot. They defeated Smithfield last night at Smithfield by a score of 2-0.
And there was a girls' game here last night, which you did solo.
Yeah, they defeated. They
won.
What was it? Yeah, they won 3-0. Riley Trudeau scored 2 goals.
Barrington.
That's correct. They defeated the Barrington Eagles here by a score of 3-0. Junior Riley Trudeau netted 2 goals for the Eagles, and senior Maggie Peterson put one in the first half for the Clippers. Just under 10 minutes here left in the fourth quarter. Still deadlocked at 1.
I
Clippers
don't know
still a
if there's
prime pressure.
overtime in regular season. I don't know if there's overtime during the regular season. We'll find out if it's tied.
I know for
right?
soccer there hasn't been so far. I don't believe there is for field hockey. It's going to be Hooper on the free hit from the 15. Centers it. Looking for Dale and Grieve. Grieve backhands it. Finds Legore on the near side. Cardona pressuring Legore. Legore still holds it right on the end line. The fall steals it away from her. Zanetti battling hard against two Sentinels, and she wins it, as she'll have a free hit from around the 22-yard line. Tries to cross it, but sends it right to the stick of McHugh, who quickly pushes it to the 50 for the Sentinels, cut off by Hooper. Looks like Hooper's just going to fire out of bounds right in front of the scorer's table.
I'll tell you what, Jackson, this has been a total team effort for the Clippers with everybody getting involved up front. The midfield has played well. Defense has played well when they've been tested by Smithfield. But credit to the front line and the midfield once again of the Clippers, who kept constant pressure on here in order to get the equalizer and now trying to get that go-ahead goal. They've had Smithfield on their heels for the whole second half here with 8:24 remaining.
Cardinals look great in all facets of their game the past two games. Once again, both coming against Smithfield at Tucker Field. It's going to be Hooper on the far side in front of the Clipper bench. We're going to have a whistle. It's going to stay with Hooper and the Clippers. She quickly fires it up to Kell. Have another stoppage, just goes out of bounds. 8 minutes remaining in the game. Cumberland's next match will be Saturday morning at Tiverton as they travel down there to face the Tigers. Smithfield will have a home match Saturday morning against crosstown rival Lincoln. With a win, Cumberland would improve to 500, while Smithfield would fall to 0-4. See if the Clippers can pull that off tonight. Legore has it with some open field. It's knocked away. There's it, one defender to beat. It's held up nicely by number 5, Cassidy Taylor.
The Clippers are getting a corner out of this as the ball might have gone off Taylor's foot. Good pressure once again by Legore. As we mentioned, they changed the field a little bit. And as usual, Jenna Hooper, the surest of sticks, will take this ball out and call a play.
Just reached the 7-minute mark here at Tucker Field. Clippers looking to break through. Hooper finds Zanetti. She fires hard, deflected by two Sentinels. She's going to stay with Blaze. She fires. A lot of traffic in front of the net, and it's going to go to Smithfield.
I must say one of the Clippers' feet, Jenna Hooper was sitting right in front of that goal waiting to stick that thing in there, and ball's taken back out to the 20, and that's usually what that indicates. It went off somebody in Cumberland's foot.
Sentinels with a chance here as Fall breaks downfield. Looking for number 7, Orsillo. Unable to find her. It's going to go back to the Clippers. I think it might have been an illegal touch by Orsillo.
Well, Clippers caught a break there as Orsillo got behind the defense.
It's a big ball there from Zanetti. Goes all the way back to the Smithfield 30. Back to Blaze at the 50. Blaze finds Bliss. To Grieve. Comes up short on the hit. Looking for Kell on the far right side. Keller regains possession. Trying to find teammate Jenna Hooper. She works through two Smithfield defenders. Going on the right side. Big hit. And it goes just right.
Boy, that was a great job by I think it was Hooper or Sidney Kell, unsure, but that was one of those back foot ones where the quarterback throws off his back foot. Same thing. Back skate, back foot, try to snap that in. Good pressure by the Clippers with 5:15 remaining. Trying to break this 1-1 tie.
Hooper and Kell have been a great duo on that far right side for the Clippers tonight. Five minutes remaining. Still deadlocked at 1.
Good job by Jenna just picking that girl clean on the far sideline.
Hooper fighting for possession. It's going to be centered back to Orsillo. Orsillo just Walmsley to beat. Gets by her.
Good job by Santoro just to take that right off of Orsillo's stick. Ooh. That was a double team right there. That's the rule you get with between Walmsley and Santoro. Double teamed Orsillo, and you can't double team the ball.
Ball's going to go back to Smithfield as a result of the double team. It's going to be Hawkins on the free hit from the 30. It was Zanetti chasing hard. Goes through the legs of Blaze.
Good idea by Blaze.
Weston centers it. She is a sentinel on the far side. Oh, it's going to be a back corner goal. That looks like number 14, Lauren Falls. Crushing goal with 4 minutes left in the game as Smithfield takes a 2-1 lead as a result of a goal from, it's going to be sophomore number 14, Lauren Falls.
Tough break for the Clippers there as they had the ball and played the double team, and Smithfield dropped and put it in, and the ball got to the back post, and Falls gives the Sentinels the lead with 4:07 remaining here in the contest.
Clippers now going to have to play with a higher sense of urgency as before. This time is running out. Like Gore with 1-on-4 against 4 Sentinels. Unable to connect.
So Cumberland did a good job this whole second half, you said. I mean, that's only really the second time they've been down there.
Yeah, it's just been that one defensive error has led to that Smithfield goal. Other than that, Hannah Freeze had little action in net this half.
Shoot it.
Looks for Grieve.
Yeah, there's
We
the
have a
equalizer.
Cumberland goal.
Rachel Grieve.
Legore on the assist to Grieve in the center of the net from about the 10-yard line. She fires one. Just bounces off the goalie's stick in Holroyd. The Clippers have tied it up.
Boy, it just took them 37 seconds, Jack, and you said play with some sense of urgency. And boy, Legore has played very well this second half. As they move the ball down the left side quickly, she sent it, and Grieve found the net.
Clippers rebounded quickly off that goal. That's Grieve's 4th of the season, just through 4 games. We have a new ball game here as Sydney Kell quickly going downfield.
She played a good game this game, Sydney Kell. A lot of showing her athleticism.
Hooper looking for Kell. Has Grieve and Blaze in the center, kicked out by Holroyd. Hooper keeps it in the Clipper zone. Smithfield streaking downfield, looking for McHugh. Looks like she has Falls on the high side.
Step up, take that ball away.
Falls
Step up,
finds
step up.
Weston. Weston looking for a solo downfield, and it's knocked away by Santoro.
Great job.
Defensive play by Abby Santoro.
Oh, I agree. She did the right thing. She stepped up and she got rid of that ball, and it changed the field right away with 2:30 remaining in the contest.
Quickly back into the Smithfield zone. We're going to have a whistle as Reeve goes down. It's going to remain with the Clippers. 2 minutes remaining. We have a 2-2 game. Let's see if the Clippers can break through for a win here in the final minutes. They might have been knocked out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Sentinels. Game-saving defensive play by Abby Santoro.
They're going to make Cumberland do that again, Jackson. Zanetti will put the ball out at the 25-yard line to try to get this thing going.
Then he finds Hooper on the far side corner. It's well guarded by Falls.
Step up, Soph.
Falls has it going downfield and looks for McHugh a little too much. It's going to find Zanetti. Blaze tries to push it upfield. 1:35 remaining. Off balance hit by Grieve. She looks at the net. We're going to have a whistle.
Clippers will get a corner with 1:26 here, and if they hustle pretty quickly here, they might be able to get another one.
Looks like Grieve was tripped up when she shot. It's going to result in a Clipper corner. And I think it will be once again Jenna Hooper.
Yeah, shout out to Cole Hooper, who's listening in the great state of Wisconsin. Just got that message.
Hit the 1 minute mark as Hooper knocks it in, finds Grieve. Grieve to Zanetti. Centers it to Kell.
Yeah!
It scores! What a pass!
Sydney Kell.
That ball went from Zanetti to Legore, back to Kell for the goal. Clippers scored 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes to overcome a 2-1 deficit and take a 3-2 lead with 51 seconds remaining here in the game.
Whew. Keep the pressure on, girls. Let's go.
It's great passing from the Clippers in that possession. Started with the Jenna Hooper corner, then to Grieve, then to Legore, then to Kell, who puts it in the back of the net. We're going to have a whistle with 40 seconds left. It's going to go back to the Clippers. Still in the Smithfield zone.
No, we're not in a rush. Just send that ball down the other way. Boy, what a
Would be
great
the smart play here from the Clippers.
What a
Is the
great
big
win this would be if Cumberland can hold on now.
Zanetti, who's a bigger hitter, steps up to it, and she fires it downfield. She's going to find her teammate Blaze at the 50. It's going to go a little high off her leg. 15 seconds left, Smithfield ball.
A dangerous play call right there on Cumberland. The ball went too high off Zanetti's stick.
We have another whistle with 10 seconds left. Looks like the Clippers may seal this one up. As Kell has it in front of the Sentinel bench. 3 seconds left. Kell looking for open field. She has it. The horn sounds at Tucker Field, and that's the game. Clippers overcome a 2-1 deficit in the last 3 minutes for a 3-2 victory. Thanks for goals from Rachel Grieve, Jenna Hooper, and Sydney Kell.
Boy, what a game, Jackson. I agree. I mean, they were down 2-1 with 4 minutes to go. You talk about playing with desperation. Grieve got the equalizer at 3:23, and then Kell, with some beautiful passing from Magor and Grieve and Zanetti and Hooper get the game winner with 51 seconds left in the contest. So the Clippers now, Jack, will improve to 2-2 on the year. Their next game is Saturday at Tiverton at 10:30 in the morning.
Correct. And Smithfield falls to 0-4. It's a crushing defeat for the Sentinels after overcoming illnesses, coming back as a full team.
And that's it. So this is it from Cumberland tonight. Final, Cumberland 3, Smithfield 2. You've been watching high school field hockey on YouTube Live on the Cumberland School of Power Network. For Eric Blanchard, our engineer, our cameraman, and our everything. Jackson Wallace, my broadcast partner. I'm Marty Crawley. We'll see you here tomorrow night for boys soccer. The boys soccer team takes on North Kingstown High School. Have a great night, everybody. And as always, go blue.